Hi everyone, welcome you to the third APIA conference and Eval Fest 2022. So you're joining with the session 11, the launch of Consortium of Institutions on Monitoring and Evaluation in the Asia. Yes, over to you, Dr.
Yeah, thank you very much. Welcome everyone to the launch event of Consortium of Institution on Monitoring and Evaluation in Asia Pacific. This consortium is a part of Asia Pacific Evaluation Association's, Asia Pacific Regional Evaluation Strategy. We are launching this consortium. Let me welcome everyone, including our esteemed panelists, Professor Kiko Nishino, Aniruddha Brahmachari, Dr. Rashmi Agrawal, Professor Natalie Holland, and Dr. Sachi Joshi. I invite Professor Kiko to deliver the welcome address and say a few things about the need of the consortium. Professor Kiko.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Sham. So good morning and good afternoon to you all. Welcome all to the launch of the Consortium of Institutions on Monitoring and Evaluation in Asia Pacific. I am Keiko Nishino, Vice President of APIA, and speaking from Kobe City, Japan. It's about 4:30 in Japan time. I'm so excited to welcome all to this important launching session. We all agree that M&E is essential from achieving SDGs to our daily work. We also agree that we need to train more evaluators. There are some opportunities for young and emerging evaluators and also to us to receive trainings from international or national institutions and bodies to increase the number of well-prepared young evaluators or more evaluators. Structured and formal academic programs are essential. However, not so many higher educational institutions in Asia and Pacific region offer M&E subject in the academic curriculum. In my university, I teach at the Kansei Gakuin University. I teach international relations and also international cooperation. But there's no M&E subject included in the curriculum. This is why we need a consortium to promote and support academic institutions to start formal programs and or offer standalone courses on various aspects of M&E. We need your partnership to develop and strengthen our consortium. Thank you. Back to you, Dr. Sham.
Thank you, Professor Kiko. Yes, definitely, it's a need, and it's a very important need of the time that we need to have such consortium in Global South in general and in Asia Pacific in particular. Thank you very much for highlighting the need of the consortium in contemporary times. Let me invite Mr. Aniruddha Brahmachari, who is a part of the consortium, to speak about the objectives and relevance of the consortium. Aniruddha.
Thank you, Dr. Sham. Thank you. Welcome everybody for this launch of this consortium. APIA, under a past, working on a past strategy, has, on the regional evaluation strategy, formed this consortium of institutions for monitoring and evaluation. And over a period of time that we have seen the transition of M&E from being a skill to being identified as a domain. This transformation needs academic recognition and inclusion. And we also need to prepare and expand the base among the youth to actually undertake or understand this evaluation field and also take formal academic programs in. But however, there's a long way to go in all of our countries about the inclusion of M&E as an mainstream academic program. So we need to augment and support these efforts in how in each of our countries to make sure that M&E is part of an higher education curriculum. This consortium actually serves as a platform for knowledge sharing and offers cross-learning. More importantly, This consortium works as a resource group to support academic institutions in setting up formal academic programs or offer standalone courses in various aspects of M&E. The broad objectives on how we sort of all got together and to work for this program are broadly in 4 types. Basically, one, to work as an advocacy group to promote the agenda of inclusion of M&E in mainstream education, and also support along the government or the relevant ministries to create buy-in and persuade various academic institutions to include M&E in undergraduate and master's program. Work as a resource group so that they can all turn to this group to get design courses, training, or M&E related aspects, or understand how the courses can help design courses or arrange internships, stuff like that. The third important area of work for this objective of the consortium is to organize events and roundtable and share knowledge across academia and government ministries or approving authorities to share about the need of M&E education as in undergraduate and master's programs. And lastly, also showcase best practices happening in various different parts of the world where M&E has already been, institutionalized in various academic and undergraduate and master's programs. Broadly, on these basis, we have been working together, and based on these objectives, we hopefully to get all your support and to move forward. Thank you, Dr. Shyam.
Thank you, Anirudh, for highlighting the objectives and relevance of this consortium. And I'm sure with the support of all the members, current members of the consortium, the future members, we are really going to achieve the objectives that we have put forward. And I think it's a need of the hour that we should, it's not only a skill set that the people should get and achieve, it's also a kind of a movement where we need to have a basic skill set among the graduates and undergraduates. When they come to the sector, they need to have that approach integrated with their education. So thank you very much for highlighting these aspects. Now let me invite Dr. Rashmi Agrawal, who is the core group member of Evaluation Committee of India and also the part of the consortium. Rashmi ji will talk about the activities of the consortium so far and the future plans that we have, and we will unfold them in near future. Dr. Rashmi Agrawal.
Thank you, Dr. Shyam, and welcome to all. I'm happy to participate in this launch session of Consortium, which is a part of the activities of partnership team of APIA Regional Evaluation Strategy, as has already been said. The Consortium, as others have stated, was planned to work as a resource hub for M&D education. Through its constitution, we aspire for having more and more members who look forward to establish evaluation as a separate discipline with professionalization. At present, we have members from India, Sri Lanka, and Japan. In a short span, we have achieved notable milestones under the partnership theme. We organized a need assessment survey to assess the demand for M&D education. It was thought that for capacity building and development of evaluation ecosystem at large, the initiative to start such courses is essential, but it should be need-based. Therefore, this survey was planned. This study was conducted online with the objective to identify a broad set of monitoring and evaluation specific knowledge and skills required in various organizations like educational institutions, development agencies, civil society organizations, government, etc. A total of 41 organizations responded to this survey, and I must say that mostly were from India. The findings have been derived from a descriptive analysis of data. The results of the survey indicate that monitoring and evaluation aspects are yet to be integrated in the mainstream higher education in the developing world specifically. There is a need to strengthen local, national, and regional partnerships to improve the capacity building processes through sharing knowledge and experiences. This survey also reveals that several organizations want to start courses in M&E if some technical support and help is available to them. Willingness to start the course is both for the short-term courses as well as the long-term courses. So on the basis of this survey and other inputs from the members of the consortium, our future plans are expansion of consortium, as I indicated earlier, by including members from other countries like Nepal, Bhutan, Philippines, etc. We also want to associate ourselves with the institutions who are willing to start courses and would like to discuss the modalities to how to start such courses, or what kind of help they require from us. It would be great if we could engage in developing a global standards for M&E courses, and would like to get associated with the regulatory bodies so that a degree course in monitoring and evaluation could be started as a full-fledged course, because in various developing countries there are still no such courses exist, and there is a demand for such courses. So thank you very much. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Shyam.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rasmi Agrawal. I think we are quite economical. We are 7 minutes ahead. We have saved 7 minutes till now. So let me come to our chief guest today, Professor Natalie Holland. She is the professor, Institute of Development Policy, University of Antwerp, and I have personally gone through her papers. She has worked a lot in terms of developing the framework to understand the capacities around monitoring and evaluation of VOPs, and she has worked extensively in the global south, particularly in Africa. So, Madam Professor Natalie, we are very happy to have you. I request you to launch the consortium and deliver the chief guest address. Professor Natalie.
Okay, thank you, Shyam. Let me first congratulate you with this initiative. And I'm really honored to be here with you and to be able to share my insights as a promoter of, and maybe the slides can, so that the first slide can come now. So yes, thank you. So I'm really happy to be able to share with you some of the insights that might be useful for the consortium in their task to help setting up education in monitoring and evaluation. So I share these insights from my experience as a promoter of the Advanced Master in Development Evaluation and Management at the University of Antwerp. So I have been the promoter of that program for 25 years. And so what I will mainly share my insights on is from a recent alumni impact study. So we have done recently an alumni impact study, which has been looking at the gains that our students have in terms of knowledge, skills, attitudes, and networks, because we think that in fact it is through these gains in knowledge, skills, attitudes, and networks that there might be impact of evaluation, of monitoring and evaluation courses on the individual, and impact on the individual means increase of employability, impact at the organizational level, and also impact at the societal level. So from the alumni impact study, we have gained a couple of insights which are helpful, which feed in fact into the updating and the organization of courses on monitoring and evaluation. And so I would like to go into these different insights. The first thing is when you look at the content of courses on monitoring and evaluation, that we think that it is important to also teach not only standardized methods, but also innovative methods. Innovative methods like, for instance, social network analysis, a method in social sciences that might be useful in monitoring and evaluation. Also, qualitative comparative analysis might be useful, political economy analysis. So these are methods that maybe at first sight are not monitoring and evaluation methods, but they are really applicable to the field of monitoring and evaluation. And it might also help students to also increase employability when they are able to apply these more innovative methods. Of course, we also need to teach theory-based evaluation, quasi-experimental designs, and so on, but this is more standardized. And the second thing that is important is to go beyond methods. So monitoring and evaluation is more than teaching methods. It's also looking or teaching on monitoring and evaluation principles, policies, but also very important, the systemic issues in monitoring and evaluation. So the more governance related issues. Then secondly, also important is the politics of monitoring and evaluation. So to understand that monitoring and evaluation is embedded in political systems and that might also influence monitoring and evaluation. A second topic that we think is important is also to look at the impact of monitoring and evaluation. So how can we increase the impact of monitoring and evaluation activities? This is the topic of use and influence of monitoring and evaluation, and a very important issue of linking the monitoring and evaluation supply side, but also the demand side, which is sometimes forgotten. So use of monitoring and evaluation is only possible when there is also a demand side that is in fact asking for monitoring and evaluation. And so the idea is that in trainings on monitoring and evaluation, there is not only attention for the supply side, but also for the demand side. And then also important is specific transversal topics, the topic of leaving no one behind, the use of ICT, big data, culture responsive evaluation. So all of this is also coming, well, it's also quite important. Okay, you can go to the next slide. And then what we also have found very important, and something that our students are really very, well, they are very positive about this, is to combine theory with action labs. So what we do is also to make sure that already during the training, students have the possibility to apply the knowledge, in fact, in organizations. And so here there is a possibility to immediately link to actors and to stakeholders of the monitoring and evaluation supply and demand side, so that students immediately through a kind of workshop or through a kind of action, internship or action lab, so that they are able to apply this immediately and get feedback also from the field itself. And so then I have listed a couple of organizations in which they could work. That could be government, civil society, parliament, universities, international organizations, evaluation societies. So what is important here is that they can practice skills, attitudes, but that they also create networks, because we think networks are quite important. And this all might increase the employability. And then something which in fact has grown over the last years is that we strongly invest in alumni networks. And so I think one of the things the consortium could also do is to learn the institutions which are member of the consortium, how they can build an alumni policy, how they can in fact create an alumni network. And why is this important? Because alumni of monitoring and evaluation courses, they are really the actors of the monitoring and evaluation supply and demand side in a society. And so because they are actors of monitoring and evaluation supply and demand side, they are differently placed in society. And when you then create networks among these different persons and actors, this is in fact a way to immediately stimulate the use of monitoring and evaluation in society. And we also try to link to evaluation societies. And in fact, many of our students have founded, so have been those founding members of monitoring and evaluation societies, the VOPI, so which is in fact also one of the impacts of the trainings you could have on monitoring and evaluation. And it also increases the sustainability of your education. And then, yes, we can go to the next slide. So we also see synergies and opportunities for collaboration, so between the consortium and in fact ourselves. So one of the most immediate rooms for collaboration is community. So we have recently started a community of practice on community-based monitoring and citizen science, because we think that citizen science is also closely linked to monitoring and evaluation. It is, in fact, the participation of citizens into monitoring and evaluation, and it's getting more and more important. So we think it's also important to link to the topic of citizen science. So we have recently created a community of practice to share experiences. And in fact, we would also like to invite the consortium to also see whether that could be interesting for them to join this community of practice. We also would like to open up our own alumni network. So if people are interested to also link to our alumni network, might be interesting. And we also would like to see whether there are other opportunities and maybe funding channels to explore. So in a sense that this might be the start of some more collaboration with the consortium. So I would like to thank you for the possibility to be here with you, and I wish you a lot of success with this really exciting new initiative. And so I've put my email address for people who might want to contact me with questions or with remarks. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, Professor Natalie, for talking about the need and the relevance, and also sharing the experience of the course that IOB is running, and you have been promoted to that course, the Advanced Master on Development Evaluation and Management. I'm sure all of us in the consortium have a lot to learn from you, and I'm sure we'll get in touch in future. But a couple of things which you said, I think they are really key to go forward and think about the M&E in terms of the higher education, mainstream higher education in developing countries. One is to go beyond methods. I think that's where probably you connect with the community, you connect, realize the need and see, how much M&E can be used for the betterment of people, rather than limiting it to the methods only and getting, insights all the time without even thinking what should be the use of the insights or how we can use them. So I think going beyond method, it's something very importantly coming out of your address. Thank you very much. And I think there are several ideas that we can take up, including Action Lab. We would definitely, as a part of the consortium, we would like to, engage with the commuter, the initiative that you have taken, the particular community of practice on community-based monitoring and citizen science. So thank you very much for, being here, addressing our the audience here and launching this consortium. If there are any questions, definitely people can write to you, and I'm sure they'll write to you because you have a lot of experience on running this course. Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Natalie. Now let me come to the last part of this launch event. Let me invite Dr. Sachi Joshi, who is a member of the consortium. She was the joint director at the Planning Commission earlier, and now it's Niti Aayog, the Government of India. I invite Dr. Joshi to talk about a panel which will be organized just after 30 minutes, 2 o'clock, on the prospects of M&E education in Asia Pacific. So she'll talk a bit about the panel and also to deliver the vote of thanks. So Dr. Joshi, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Shyam. Good afternoon, everyone. I am delighted to inform you that there is a panel discussion at 2 p.m. on the prospects of M&E education in Asia Pacific region. The session would be chaired by Dr. Shyam Singh from IRMA. He is also co-chair of this consortium. Our panelists include Professor Shyam B. Menon, Chairman of Higher Education Reforms Commission, Government of Kerala, India. Earlier, Professor Menon served as Vice Chancellor of Ambedkar University, Delhi. Professor Menon was also retired as Professor of Education from University of Delhi. He would share his experiences regarding possibilities and challenges in starting transdisciplinary and practice-oriented academic program, particularly within the regulatory ecosystem of higher education in India. We also have with us Professor Yoko Ishida from Center for the Study of International Cooperation in Education from Hiroshima University, Japan. She would speak on the state of M&E education across Asia Pacific and prospects of mainstreaming monitoring and evaluation education. The panelist, Mr. Deepak Upadhyay, is a state program manager on M&E at Jharkhand State Livelihood Promotion Society, Government of Jharkhand, India. Mr. Deepak would present the user's perspective and highlight the need for on-the-field M&E skills in development interventions. We also have with us Dr. Kamra Senaratne. He's from University of Sri Jayawardhanpur, Sri Lanka. He would share his experiences on running an academic program on M&E at the University of Sri Jayawardhanpur, Sri Lanka. Do join the session and enrich the discussion. Again, I would remind that the session is at 2 o'clock. Thank you very much. I want to also express vote of thanks for the session on behalf of the consortium and also on my behalf. First of all, I wish to express my gratitude to Ms. Natalie for chairing this session and raising very important points what consortium should include. Ma'am, you rightly said that M&E education should emphasize not only on demand side, supply side, but also on demand side, because unless there is an employability, we will not have takers of these courses. Also, your emphasis on innovative methods and going beyond methods is an important suggestion which consortium will take care during its successive actions. My sincere thanks to Dr. Shyam Singh, co-chair, also for moderating this session excellently. My deep sense of gratitude to Kiko Nishino for her welcome address and bringing out the need for consortium of M&E institutions and how she expressed how important it is to bring in youth in evaluation so that our future we'll have a pool of future evaluators. I would also like to express my gratitude to Mr. Anirudh Brahmachari for explaining objectives and relevance of the consortium during this session. He also emphasized on expanding youth base. We need to augment the M&E capacity building and bring in M&E courses in academic institution and through consultations, etc., and training programs, etc. So we need to have M&E professionals. Dr. Rashmi Agarwal, she explained activities of consortium. She also gave us an excerpt of the survey which was done and to assess the need of M&E education. And she rightly expressed the future plan of this consortium and how to expand capacity building in M&E. My sincere thanks to APA and ECOI for their continuous support and guidance for this consortium throughout. The consortium team was also rigorously involved. My thanks to the team also. And my deep appreciation to the technical team involved in conduct of consortium. Without their help, without their effort, the launch of consortium would have not been possible. Once again, I take the opportunity to express my gratitude to all those who are directly and indirectly involved in launch of this event, including the participants of this session. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Joshi. Thank you very much for the information about the panel and the vote of thanks. Let's conclude the session with the promise that the consortium will interact with you more often in future. There will be a lot of opportunities that we will come together again and discuss the future of M&E education in the Asia Pacific in general, and your context in particular. So thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Natalie. Thank you, Dr. Kiko, Rashmiji, Dr. Sachi, Anirudh, everyone. Thanks a lot. Thanks, team, for organizing this and giving us a space to launch this important, organization, important initiative. Thank you very much.